What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to TTP Sports. The Phillies get a huge series win tonight against the St. Louis Cardinals. They shut them out by a score of 4-0. Zack Wheeler on the mound was great, and just timely hitting overall. The Phillies managed to figure out Adam Wainwright, and Rhys Hoskins goes yard, JT Realmuto goes yard, and overall just good game to watch. Overall, just a really good game to watch by this Phillies team. And hey, it's a huge series win. Like I said, Zack Wheeler was really good. I thought he battled out there. The Cardinals, put a lot of, good at bats there, fouling off a lot of pitches. But Zack Wheeler managed to hang in there. He managed to go a huge 7 innings, which I asked of him yesterday because, of the way the bullpen was taxed this series. So, hey, and the guys that came out of the bullpen, Nick Nelson was surprisingly nasty out there, especially with a couple of strikeouts. And also Corey Knebel in the 9th inning, shutting it down, getting a couple of strikeouts of his own. So overall, a solid night. A very solid night and a very great win for this Phillies team. So before we get into the rest of this game, everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And if you are new to the channel, I definitely recommend you hitting that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate that. If you are looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, this is the place to be at, depending on the outcome, great or miserable, depending on the outcome. And if you are a current viewer of the channel, I'm grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking for tickets to upcoming sporting events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So tickets to any upcoming Phillies home game, road trip for a Phillies game, definitely plan that out. The deal you can't pass up on, $20, which avoids the fees from SeatGeek. Use it for parking, concessions, whatever that you can think of. Do not pass up on this deal, folks. Use the code TTP Sports, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek today. So, Phillies got a nice 4-0 shutout over the St. Louis Cardinals in this game. The Phillies actually managed to shut down Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado in this game. And overall, like I said, very solid game overall. Really not much going on. It was just basically Phillies getting home runs later on in this ball game. Adam Wainwright was dealing. Zack Wheeler was doing his thing. And then eventually later on in this ball game, the Phillies managed to work Adam Wainwright a lot more. Got him to, leave some mistakes over the middle of the plate, and they took advantage of it. They definitely did. And that's all it takes. That's all it took in this game, and that's very nice to see. So basically, if you look at Zack Wheeler's stat line tonight, went 7 solid innings, only allowed 4 hits, walked 1 guy, and struck out 5 on 108 pitches. So that is definitely a huge game from Zack Wheeler. His ERA drops to 2.66. You get Nick Nelson coming in there in the 8th inning. Like I said, he was nasty. He walked 1 guy, where honestly maybe it shouldn't have been a walk because, the umpires in tonight's game were just absolutely dreadful, especially that one, check swing call in the top of the 8th inning. I was just like, what? What? The second batter in the inning where he obviously swung, he literally swung 20 feet across the plate. And for some reason, the first base umpire was just like, no swing. When you see the replay, it's like, huh? How do you miss that? And even Nick Nelson, you got Zach Eflin barking at the umpires from the dugout, and you get Nick Nelson just have the 1,000-yard stare like, huh? How are you that bad? And the strike zone tonight on both sides was just absolutely atrocious. So another Sunday night baseball game featuring the Philadelphia Phillies, where the umpires are hot garbage. Thankfully, it wasn't Angel Hernandez, but still hot garbage umpiring overall for both sides. But still, Nick Nelson was solid for 14 pitches with a walk and a strikeout, and Corey Knebel was very good in the 9th inning, get 2 strikeouts on 13 pitches. And good for Corey Knebel, too, because he faced Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado in the 9th inning and managed to shut those guys down, which was really good. And the Phillies had some nice defense in this game, too, I add. Bryce and Stott made some nice plays. Even though it was like a hard ground ball by Tommy Edman, he managed to beat it out, but still was a nice play overall by Bryce and Stott. But just basically going through this entire game, okay, the Cardinals, they get a base runner in the first, nothing going there. It was really just a lot of, 1, 2, 3 innings. Maybe the Cardinals get 1 runner on base and nothing else happens there. Like I said, you go through these couple of innings, really nothing is happening for both teams in either side. Bottom of the 3rd inning, the Phillies had a couple of chances, had a chance with runners in scoring position. Bryce and Stott worked the walk, then Munoz got a single. You had 1st and 2nd for Kyle Schwarber. He grounded into a double play. I know a lot of people already are like worrying about, oh my God, it's not June anymore. Kyle Schwarber, oh my God, he'll be fine. But everyone, he's not going to, go off like he did in June. But I think Kyle Schwarber is going to be fine. I'm not worried overall about Kyle Schwarber whatsoever. So then you go into the bottom of the first inning, fourth inning actually. Rhys Hoskins leading off, takes the first pitch for a ball, and then Adam Wainwright just leaves a meatball right over the middle of the plate, like a really slow meatball, and Rhys Hoskins does everything with it. He absolutely crushes it, sends it into the stands, puts the Phillies up 1-0. The Phillies had some chances with 2 outs in his inning, but Odubel Herrera with the bases in the runners in scoring position, you knew that nothing was going to happen there. Alec Bohm and JT got on with 2-out singles. So, yeah, it's Odubel Herrera with runners in scoring position. Nothing's really going to come across the plate. Zack Wheeler still doing his thing, and then go to the bottom of the 6th for the Phillies. I guess you can just say break the game open. Rhys Hoskins leads off with a double, barely missed going out of the ballpark. Nick Castellanos then drove him in with a bloop RBI single, and then there was a mishap. They threw the ball way behind home plate. For some reason, Nick Castellanos isn't on second base. He's like too busy celebrating to the dugout for the single that I guess he wasn't paying attention in that mindset to where, the Cardinals were having trouble with errors in this ball game, but Nick Castellanos should have been on second base in that situation. He definitely should have. That's like unexcusable. You should be paying attention to the entire thing because you got Paco Figueroa at first base literally telling it, go, 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 and he's not paying attention whatsoever. So he's still on first base. Hall then strikes out, and then JT comes up. He battles during this entire at-bat. 2-2 count, fouls off a couple of pitches, and then finds his pitch as a hanging curveball, lines it out of the ballpark, 2-run shot, makes it a 4-0 ball game, and that's basically all she wrote for the rest of the game. Odubel Herrera did get a 2-out single in that situation, but nothing really happened there. Wheeler comes out for the 7th when he's already over 100 pitches, gets that out 1, 2, 3, and then basically the rest of the game is just, quiet. The Phillies had some chances in the bottom of the 8th inning with a couple of errors by the Cardinals, surprisingly. First and second, actually first and third, and then it became second and third. And then, surprise, surprise, Odubel Herrera can hit with runners in scoring position. So nothing, too radical there. Still 4-0 lead going into that top of the 9th inning, and Corey Knebel gets the job done. So going into the lineup today, Kyle Schwarber, quiet day at the plate. He did have some funny moments because he was one of the guys that was mic'd up during this game. Hence, it was an ESPN game, so they do the mic'd up interviews during the ball game. Still very weird that they interview guys while they're playing. So I kind of find that weird. But Schwarber did have a very nice moment. I think it was like the 2nd or the 3rd inning, and it was the final out. And he was like, of course, the ball was hit to him. So he's like, I got it. And he makes the catch. So it was kind of a funny moment there overall. But still, Kyle Schwarber goes over 4 in this game with a strikeout. Rhys Hoskins had a fantastic day at the plate. He went 2 for 4 with an RBI on the solo shot. He also had the double as well. Nick Castellanos got the RBI single later on in this ball game. Derek Hall finally got a hit that was not a home run. It was a bloop single to left field. He goes 1 for 4. JT Realmuto, good day at the plate for him. 2 for 4 with a 2-run shot, so 2 RBIs for him. Alec Bohm goes 1 for 4. Odubel Herrera goes 1 for 4. Bryce Stott goes over 2 with a walk. And then Munoz goes 1 for 3 in this game. The Phillies were 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Their only hit was in the Castellanos RBI single. They did leave 6 runners on base, but at the end of the day, they did win the game 4-0. So that doesn't come back to bite them. So, good series win, a huge series win against the team that you are fighting for in the wild card spot. Would have been nice to get the series win against Atlanta, but these are tough series, and some of these series you are going to lose. The Phillies bounced back from the Atlanta Braves series, and they managed to beat a very tough team in the St. Louis Cardinals, especially with that lineup, especially with Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. But the task isn't done yet because you are going to be playing the Cardinals next weekend for a 4-game series next Friday to Monday. So get familiar with this team. They're going to want some revenge going back to St. Louis, so be prepared for that. But you're also going to have a little bit of a break this week. You're going to have an off day tomorrow on July 4th. Also, happy July 4th, everyone. Hopefully, everyone enjoys that tomorrow. You're going to have a little bit of a break, but also some bad news as well, since now that you have Zach Eflin on the 15-day DL, you also now just put Ranger Suarez on the 15-day DL with back tightness, I believe it was, or back spasms. So that is 2 of your back-end rotation guys on the 15-day IL. And now you're going to have to rely on Bailey Falter. And I believe Matt Gelb said Chris Sanchez is going to be starting on Tuesday against the Washington Nationals. So those are a couple of bullpen games right there. Not what I want to see. Not what I want to see at all. Because if you're looking at this series against the Washington Nationals, it'll be Chris Sanchez going up against Espino on Tuesday. Nola will get the bump on Wednesday against Josiah Gray. And then it'll probably be Bailey Falter on Thursday against the Nationals. And then you go into this huge series against the Cardinals where you're going to have three of your top pitchers in that series, Gibson, Wheeler, and Nola. Hopefully Kyle Gibson doesn't allow back-to-back home runs in the top of the first inning. But honestly, this really showcases that the Phillies might need to go out and get another starting pitcher sooner rather than later. Because now with the Zack Eflin situation and now with the Rangers Suarez situation, 15-day IL for both of them. So if we're looking at the 15-day IL, that's probably at least right at the All-Star break or something like that. Might be like right before it. So that's not ideal at all. Definitely not ideal for either of those guys. So are they going to try to run around the bush with bullpen games, especially when you have these tough series coming up? I know Washington, they're the worst team in the league, so it might be a break there, but still, when you're going up against St. Louis for 4 games, I know you're going to have your 3 better pitchers on the mound for that series, so it's not the worst case scenario. But then you're also going to have the Toronto Blue Jays for 2 games, so one of Sanchez and Bailey Falter might start one of those games. And then you're going to have a series in Miami where you struggle mightily. So that's an issue. So that's going to be a problem. Definitely will be. So Dave Dombrowski might have to, like I said, maybe go out and trade for a starting pitcher sooner rather than later. Because I feel like at this point, with the injuries to the starting pitching staff specifically, it's gonna really showcase the depth of this team, especially lacking wise in the starting pitching department. So, because they really don't have many guys in AAA to call up, because all of their better starting pitching prospects are either in Single A or Double A. I know they just called up one of their other guys to Double A just not that long ago. I think it was, who was it, like Griff something? I forget his last name. If I'm trying to think of it, like, why am I blanking on the name right now? Because I remember just talking about it earlier today, and I'm trying to figure about that. Just talking about the entire situation. So if I'm looking at this right here, yeah, Griff McGarry. Okay, that's who they called up to Double A. So really, they don't have that much depth in the starting pitching wise in the minors. It's literally their best pitching prospects are Andrew Painter, McAbell, and then Griff McGarry. And all those guys are just Double A and below, and most likely won't be ready for Major League Baseball for a long time. So Dave Dombrowski is going to have his work cut out for him, possibly going to have to, do something to get a starting pitcher in this rotation. Because Zack Eflin with the knee situation, it's the same knee that he had surgery on last year. So I'm kind of skeptical about that with the situation that's going on with his knee right now. And Ranger Suarez back spasms aren't something to mess with. So I wouldn't force him out there if he's still dealing with these back spasms. So that's something that you're going to have to think about going over the next couple of days. Definitely are going to. But still, overall, it was a good series win, and it's definitely going to be a much-needed off day tomorrow, especially with all the bullpen arms that you used in this series. Like, you used Brad Hand twice, you used Sir Anthony Dominguez twice, Corey Knebel twice, Nick Nelson twice. You used a lot of guys during this series. Granted, for the bullpen game on Friday, and then for Kyle Gibson not going deep into yesterday's ball game, thankfully, Zach Wheeler had a really good outing today. Shutout baseball, 7 innings. He did really good work out there. And I'm proud of Zach Wheeler for bouncing back after, the start that he had against the Braves, where he allowed the back-to-back home runs in the top of the first inning in that ball game. So it's good to see that from Zach Wheeler. It's good to see guys like Rhys Hoskins continue the hot streak that he is on, because I believe they showed a stat like since June 3rd or something like that. He's been really good at the plate. So his bat, we're in the midst of another one of those long Rhys Hoskins hot streaks. And it's coming at the right time, especially when you don't have Bryce Harper in the lineup. And hopefully one of those situations where Nick Castellanos gets an RBI single in this game, hopefully he finds some, magic in that. Kyle Schwarber, I'm not expecting him to hit 12 home runs in the month of July. That's just, not going to happen consistently. If he can just be a consistent guy at the top of the lineup that, occasionally goes deep like he normally does, I'll be very fine with that. He's not going to hit 12 home runs this month, but it's funny where I find like, oh my God, it's June. Kyle Schwarber, his powers going to go away? And he'll be absolutely fine. Do not worry about that whatsoever. I'm not worried about Kyle Schwarber in the slightest. But still, like I said, a very good win by this Phillies team and a much needed day off tomorrow before they take on the very poor Washington Nationals this week. So yeah, I think that's where we stand here right now. Off day tomorrow. Phillies are 4 games above 500, I believe. They are 42-38. So that is nice to see. Honestly, let me just take a peek at the standings right now, specifically the wild card spot, because I know the Phillies in the East really probably aren't making any ground there, but who knows? So if we look at the wild card right now, the San Diego Padres, they hold the first wild card spot by 3 games. The Atlanta Braves have the second wild card spot by 2.5 games. And the St. Louis Cardinals currently hold the third wild card spot, and the Phillies are 1.5 games behind the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals are 44-37. Phillies are 42-38. If we look at the NL East standings just to see where they are, the Braves right now, oh, look at the New York Mets. They are 49-30. They are in first place, obviously. The Braves are actually 3.5 behind the New York Mets at 46-34. So that's surprising to see. That's, what the month of June did for the Atlanta Braves, specifically 14-game winning streak. So that helps them. And the Phillies, they are 7.5 games behind the New York Mets for first place. But right now, as we know right now with Phillies fans, the goal is the wild card, and they're a game and a half behind in the third wild card spot. So right now, that's where we need to look. But it still technically could be too early for looking at standings right now. You really don't start doing the standings watches until really you get into August and all that stuff, until after the All-Star break. So really, there's still a lot of time to go, but still a good series win nonetheless, and it's going to be a battle basically for the rest of the entire season. Can't wait for everything of that. So that's where I'm going to call it today, folks. What are your thoughts on this game and everything like that? Do not forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I like to see those as always. Do not forget to drop a like on the video. Do not forget to check out everything down in the description below. The Painted Lines, BrodesMedia, everything like that. I definitely recommend it. I also recommend hitting that subscribe button and also using the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Hope everyone has a nice 4th of July tomorrow. Enjoy that day, whatever you're planning to do, barbecue, hang out with the family or something like that. Enjoy that, and I will see you next time.